Hi, I'm Champagne Jayne, your secret agent for champagne shopping. I'm here at Dan Murphy's in Alexandria. 4 fridges of sparkling and champagne to choose from when you're rushing out to that dinner party or off to your Melbourne Cup track celebrations. Now is the moment to choose our champagne bargain of the week, and there's lots of fabulous things available here in Dan Murphy's, including the new vintage of Dom Perignon 2002 for just $210. However, I'm always thinking about what's best for your budget, and so I've chosen 2 champagnes today, not just one. Come with me, I'll just show you which ones they are. So, the value champagnes of the day, pardon me, wrong fridge. First champagne, Champagne Lançon. Now, Lançon is celebrating its 250th anniversary, founded in 1760. It's a non-malolactic style of champagne. What that means is instead of making the champagne ready to wear and turning the hard malic acid into soft lactic acid, these guys actually let the champagne age naturally. So it remains very fresh and crisp. It's fabulous when young, it's lovely when it's aged, but it's the kind of champagne you'd have with oysters. So on a warm day, there's nothing more refreshing than Lançon. So this is my first champagne choice this week because this is under $50. When you think about high quality Australian sparkling wine is between $30 to $55, a high quality 250-year-old champagne for under $50 has got to be the bargain of the week. The second champagne today, and my choice, has to be the Louis Roederer. Louis Roederer, as I say, Rolls-Royce of non-vintage champagne. They own 75% of the vineyards that they require, the grapes that they require to make this champagne. It's all incredibly closely controlled. It's sophisticated, it's smart, it's beautiful, it's complex. I thoroughly recommend that if you haven't already tried it, you definitely get your hands on some Louis Roederer. Brut Premier. This champagne is retailing at $68. It's $65 if you buy 6 bottles of wine here at Dan Murphy's. This is my choice for the week. This is Champagne Jayne for ChampagneJayneTV. I look forward to seeing you soon. Cheers! Okay, so we've had a look at the wonderful selection of champagnes that they have here at Dan Murphy's. Now it's time to have a look at the sparklings. If we look at this, you can see how long this row is. This is all sparkling wine. Now, there's a hell of a lot of different sparklings at around the $10 to $15 mark, but I think really, if you're going to drink sparkling wine, because it's actually a little bit harder to make than your standard still wine, you need to be spending $15 or more, usually around $20 to get something that's really worth having. So I've talked in the past about Taltani, fabulous sparkling wine. I think also as a rosé, as a barbecue wine, but it's got some really good competition from this wine here. This is Bird in Hand. Bird in Hand actually refers to a gold mine in the Adelaide Hills. This is pure sparkling Pinot Noir, a little bit more body and depth than the Taltani, I'd say, but very much at the same price. We're talking $20. So this is a fantastic sparkling rosé, great for spring, fabulous for those larger number parties. Now, in the same stable as the Taltani, we have down here. This is one of my personal favourites, of course. I love all champagnes and sparkling. That's what I call Champagne Jayne. But Clover Hill. Clover Hill is a vintage style of sparkling wine produced in Tasmania. It's very appley, intense fruit on the nose and on the palate, and also combined with that rich creaminess and yeastiness of the bottle age. Now, Taltani and Clover Hill were both founded by a Frenchman called Dominique Portet. He was responsible for both those brands. They're actually sister companies. And of course, Dominique Portet has his own winery in the Yarra Valley, so he also makes his own bubbles. But you won't find that in most bottle shops. So these are a good 2 choices to have. So we've got Clover Hill at $35 and we've got Bird in Hand at $20. Again, around the $30 mark, some fabulous examples here. Crozer, which of course the famous flying winemaker Brian Crozer, who's responsible for some of the best sparkling wine sites here in Australia at $30. Stefano Lubiana, a boutique winemaker down in Tasmania. And again here, one that's widely available and also quite champagne-like in its style, is Yarrabank. Yarrabank is actually Yering Station in the Yarra Valley, and it's a joint venture between Yering Station and Champagne Veuve de Vaux in the Aube region. So these guys have the champagne winemakers come out and actually do the blends. So another fantastic sparkling wine choice here for $32.99. Now, I've mentioned before that probably the flagship of Australian sparkling wine is actually this one here, the Arras. The 2003 Arras, the latest vintage of Arras, made by Ed Carr. Fantastic, as good as champagne quite easily. However, what's really exciting me today is right next door they've got the new release. Now, this is the Arras Brut Elite. I've not actually tried this sparkling wine yet. It's made by the same team, and basically what they've done is they've actually produced a non-vintage style of the Arras. So it will still have aged components in it, but it's not strictly from that vintage. This is a new release wine, Arras Brut Elite, $36.70. I'm definitely taking home a bottle of this to try. If you scan the shelves here, you can see these guys have everything in terms of sparkling wine. Yance, of course, the vintage Yance at $35, well, that's an absolute bargain. And the Craiglinger here as well. So you've kind of got the Tasmanian styles here. Of course, this one's actually Carver. But yeah, I think we can safely say that Dan Murphy's has a fabulously broad range of champagne and sparkling wine. You get discounts as soon as you buy 6 bottles. So a very, very good place to shop for Melbourne Cup. Cheers!